Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Hello and welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 16. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me today and spending a bit of time taking a look into my world as to how I function and work with my clients. So thanks for being here. I wanted to talk today because the timing of this conversation is perfect. Many of us are approaching the end of the year. I think we're all approaching the end of the year, but many of us are approaching the end of our business year and have made great plans, business plans and strategies and goal setting for our upcoming year. And I will tell you, it's one of my favorite times of the year. And not only is it at the holiday season, but it's a time that we as entrepreneurs, business owners, realtors who are running really powerful businesses get to sit back and forecast what they would love for their upcoming year to be. What's their intention of the year ahead of them? And with that comes a great level of excitement. So I'll share with you, Rethink Coaching, we clearly have a business plan for our upcoming year, 2024. And I'm always reminded when I do that forecast and I cast what our expectation is and what our intention is for the upcoming year, I got to tell you, it makes me so incredibly excited because of all the possibility that it's creating. You know, I get to look at, hey, when this goal is accomplished, this is the wake that we leave behind us, the impact field that we get to leave behind us on the people that we're fortunate enough to work with. And I sit in that space because it creates a lot of gratitude, it creates a lot of energy, and I really sit with how that is going to feel and what it is going to look like. So I know we've talked about this a little bit. However, as we're forecasting out our upcoming year, I want you to acknowledge and recognize that when we set goals, much like I have done and you have hopefully done by now, there is a great sense of excitement. It's very seducing to get you to think of all of the great things that are going to come your way when you achieve this amazing goal that you've set for yourself or for your business. So it's a cool place to be in, and I'm not denying that. I do want to talk to you, though, about the danger if we do not bring that feeling or that thought or that compelling future, if we don't bring it to life by taking specific action on our end. So I want to introduce to you a really powerful universal law called be, do, have. You see, when you set your goal, much like myself, and I was living into all the great feels and who's going to be impacted and what I'm going to be able to do and what the money we earn is going to be able to do and make a difference in the world, that's the have. That's the have of that universal law, be, do, have. And that is the really feel good part of this. Now, the other parts of it are equally as important as the have. I like to call it the compelling future. I like to call it what you can see as your impact and who you're going to impact, whatever you want to call it. It's a cool space to hang out in. However, we've got to dabble deeply in the be and the do. And what does it mean? So the be simply means, and it's B-E, not just the letter B. The be simply means who must I be or must I become to make my have a reality? You know, let's be honest. If we're setting a bigger goal than what we achieved previous year or what we've ever achieved, we can't necessarily show up as the same person and expect to get a bigger result. We must really work on the who must I become or who must I be to achieve that goal. And it's not a portion of this to just breeze over. I want you to really think about who must you be or who must you become. I'm going to give you some examples to help you understand that. So for myself, right, who must I be? I must be someone who's open to new ideas. I must be someone who's willing to take chances and risk. I must become what I've always thought was possible in my mind. That's the B. Who do I need to be? Who do I need to become? And then the do part, D-O, do, is what must I do to achieve? And so we really have to sit and break it down and think about, what am I going to do to achieve that goal? And again, this is not a section that you breeze over. You look at your business plan, you look at your strategy, you look at your goal setting, but you really sit with the who do I have to be, and now what do I have to do? And this is where we create strategies on what we must do to achieve the goal. And again, if our goal is different than it was the previous year, chances are what we do is either going to be slightly different because we might do more, or it might be different in terms of we're going to infuse a couple of other business lead gen sources or business building sources into our business plan that we didn't do in the previous year. There's a temptation, team, in the be and the do to just duplicate what we've done from previous years. And I'm going to share this with you because it's really important to remember this. Your brain wants to protect you from danger, and it views change as danger. So it is going to resist doing different things because it feels unsafe. So if you do not start in the space of be and do and look at who do you need to become, meaning different person, different outlook, different elements to it, and you do not spend time in the what do I have to do differently or do more of or do in addition to, your brain is going to seduce you right back into doing what you've always done. Because here's what happens if we do not spend adequate time in all of these categories. We are so pumped up about what we're going to get to experience in the upcoming year. I mean, for myself, I sometimes look at the business plan that we've created for Rethink for 2024, and I have found myself asking, whose plan is this? Because this is huge. And then I realize it's for me, and I look at all of the great things that we're going to get to do because of the commitment that we've made. And I love living in that space because I do believe your mindset has a big part of your overall success. So if you haven't listened to podcast episode number 1, I'm going to invite you to go back and look at that, because thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, and then results have a big impact on our have. So if you haven't, go take a listen to that and then come back and re-listen to this one. But for those of you who have and know that I firmly believe that mindset, thoughts, and beliefs hold 90% of our success, enjoy your time in the have and really look at that. Now, that fun, that energy, that cool factor will wane quickly if I show up on January 1st and do what I did last year. I will be really excited. And about 3 weeks in, I'll be like, this isn't quite going like I thought it was going to go. But, it's only January 21st. I'm fine. I got plenty of time. And then a couple more weeks will go by, and you will start to quickly realize that the new goal that you set is not going to happen. And so your brain goes into storytelling mode and starts feeding you with stories and thoughts. Who were you to think that that was your goal? I mean, you yourself said it. You looked at it and thought, whose plan is this? It can't be mine. So why don't you do yourself a favor and just do what you're good at and just be grateful for what you've got. The rest go. That is what happens when we allow ourselves to live in the have, but don't put any skin in the game, the be and the do. So without those two things, your dream will come crashing down shortly after you start the new year, because the logic side of you is going to look at what you're achieving and versus what your goal was. And then the emotional side is going to kick in. That's just how it works. So honor the law, be, do, have this year. Have fun in the have. My gosh, I love that. Create your compelling future, live in that space, and then be, do. Here's the other thing I'm going to say. There's a lot of value and there's a lot of clues in the be and the do from your previous experiences. All right. And so a lot of times, as we're sitting down to create who am I going to be or become and what am I going to do, we start creating these great plans, right? And they're going to sound similar because they're things that we committed to do previous years or previous attempts. But if you're really honest with yourself and you go back and look over your history, let's say you've been in the industry for more than 12 months, or you're doing your current role or position for more than 12 months. So talking to my real estate agents, if you look at your past year and you look at the do, what did I actually do versus what I said I was going to do? We tend to only want to look at the wins. Well, my database did this and I got a couple extra deals because I did that, right? But we don't look at what didn't I do or what were my losses because I chose not to do something. There's so much value in that I cannot stress to you enough to just take a moment and honor the failures, honor the losses. The lessons run deep in the losses only if you allow them to be lessons. And so really sit with what did I commit to over the last 12 months that I was going to do? If I rated myself on a scale of 0 to 10, where was I? What could I have done differently? What caused me to show up like this? What caused me to not take the action any longer or do the action that I committed to do? There's so much juice in that analysis that if you skip it because you don't want to make yourself feel bad for the things that you didn't do, you're going to repeat the losses in your upcoming year. So spend some time with that. And then also spend some time with the B. I can't show up for my 2024 plan the person that I am right now. I can't. To achieve the massive goal that I have set for myself and Rethink Coaching, I can't show up as the same person who showed up in 2023. Now, that person was pretty kick butt, I will tell you. However, this is a whole nother level of goal achievement. And so I have to take a moment and just think about who do I have to be or who do I need to become? And that's when I really start to get honest, get real, and get right with myself. I need to become the person who's willing to take more risk. I need to become the person who embraces failure at a really high level. I need to become the person that's willing to try crazy things that your coach recommends to you to do, even though you feel like it's totally going to be nuts, and you do it and you either win or you learn. Sometimes we win and sometimes we learn. That's who I need to become. Who do I need to be or become for my upcoming year's goals? And then the do part, what do I need to do? I need to go back and look at my failures, and I'll be very transparent. The greatest area of failure for me in this last year was in my social media presence. It just wasn't there to the degree that I committed it to be. I made a commitment to myself and my coach that I was going to do these posts. And when they didn't work magically, like I thought they would when I posted one post, I started to have doubt and I started to let go of my belief that it was possible, which then impacted my doing them. I did them. I just didn't do them very consistently. And so for me, the lesson in that is I sold myself short. I didn't trust that my coach knew what he was doing. And when I look at his business and see what he's doing with social media, he clearly knows what works, yet I chose not to do it. So my biggest lessons, one of my biggest lessons is just really that simple. I didn't do it. And I had to sit with why. And it all came back to my thoughts, which created a feeling and emotion, which impacted the actions that I took, which clearly impacted the results from that one area of growing my business through social media. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned in your be and do from the previous year. Because I promise you, when you sat down to write your goal for that was supposed to happen this year, you were equally as excited as you might be right now about the future goals that you set for yourself. But stuff got in the way. So the other thing that I would say in the do portion is, who do you need to spend more time with? Identify people who are performing at the level that you desire to be performing at and go get in their world. Ask them questions. That's a big part of my do. I'm surrounding myself with other coaches who own their own coaching companies who are performing at the level that I've planned for myself for the upcoming year. And I'm spending a lot of time with them. Some of it I have to pay for, and some of it is through relationships and proximity. So I would invite you to do the same. And the other thing is a constant alignment with a coach. That's the other part of the do, is that I must be in alignment with a minimum of one coach to achieve the goal that I've set. So look at your be and do from the previous year. Look at your be and do for the upcoming year. Do not get caught up in the have category and allow that excitement to intoxicate you to thinking that it's just going to happen because you set the plan, you put out what you're going to do, and we can manifest whatever we want. I believe you can manifest your future, but you got to give it some help. And you do that through the be and the do. So if you have any questions, always reach out to me. I'm going to invite you all to consider partnering with a coach for your upcoming year. If you've got big goals, don't go alone. Hire a coach that has done what you want to do or has a proven track record of helping others in your industry achieve success. If you want to learn what it's like to coach with someone here at Rethink Coaching, myself in particular, just reach out to me. I'm happy to schedule a strategy call with you that's complimentary, and we can just talk. What does a coaching partnership look like? If it's not me or one of my coaches at Rethink Coaching, go find a coaching company that is a match for you and get into partnership with them. If you're not in a place that one-on-one coaching makes financial sense right now, go explore group coaching programs. They are incredibly powerful, and they're a great glide path into a coaching partnership because they're usually minimal investment upfront and maximum return. Because if we're honest, as someone who owns a coaching company, our group programs are to allow you success and to allow you to experience us so that you may choose to engage in a partnership with us at a higher level, one-on-one or more group programs. So if you've got questions, reach out to me. You can find my contact information so easy on the internet. You can go to rethinkcoaching.com. My cell phone number is listed on there. Please feel free to reach out to me. Happy to answer any questions. Just remember the simplicity of be, do, have, and really think about your be and your do. I'll talk to you soon. Go make it a great week. Take care. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.